Picked up by the Denver Nuggets 7th overall, Jamal Murray proved to be a great selection, becoming one of the few players of his draft class to win an NBA championship. He quickly proved himself as a promising point guard as a rookie, averaging 21 minutes, 10 points, and over 2 assists per game with good efficiency. He broke out in his sophomore year, scoring nearly 17 points per game on 45% shooting, including almost 37% from 3. Over the next few seasons, Murray played a key role on a young, potential-rich Nuggets team, helping them win multiple playoff series and reach the 2020 Western Conference Finals. However, a severe ACL injury in the 2020-21 season sidelined him indefinitely, causing him to miss the entire 2021 playoffs and the following season. Despite concerns, the Nuggets kept faith in him. Returning in the 2022-23 season, Murray averaged 20 points on strong shooting, serving as a vital second option for the top-seeded Nuggets. In the playoffs, alongside Jokic and a great supporting cast, they eliminated the Timberwolves, Suns, Lakers, and Heat, losing only 5 games en route to the NBA championship. Murray's playoff performance was outstanding, averaging 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, and shooting over 40% from 3 across 19 games, proving once again that he enhances his play significantly when it matters most. However, back in 2016, 6 players were selected before Jamal Murray. So who were those players, and where are they now? Welcome to Sportsphere. Let's get into it. With the first pick of the 2016 NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers selected Ben Simmons, and so far, Ben has experienced a career of highs and lows. After being out for the entire season he was drafted, Ben came back and won Rookie of the Year, also having team success with Philly alongside Joel Embiid. But as he continued his ascend as a rising star in the league, it wouldn't go without controversy. Because, see, Ben Simmons could not shoot to save his life, and he also had a bad attitude about it. Ben soon became a locker room menace at Philly after securing a big contract, and would proceed to request a trade, eventually seeing himself on the Brooklyn Nets. Since then, it's become obvious that Simmons does not love basketball, and after securing a 5-year, $177 million deal, he no longer had motivation to play his hardest and win games. After his trade to Brooklyn, he would continue to recover from an injury on the bench, while collecting millions of dollars a month. Since securing the deal in 2019, it's no secret his output has decreased almost every season. And last season with the Nets, in 42 games, he averaged 7 points, just over 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. And despite still having the physical tools and ability to become a good NBA player, it's all up to Ben Simmons himself to make it happen. I guess we just have to wait and see. As for the second pick of the 2016 draft, things were much more smooth sailing for Brandon Ingram's career. Despite a slow start with the young Lakers team early, B.I. was soon moved to the Pelicans in the Anthony Davis deal, and this proved to be the exact change of scenery required to propel him to the next level. Although he showed signs of a 3-level scorer with the Lakers, averaging 19 points, and shooting almost 50% from the field in his 3rd season, his move to the Pelicans saw his point per game jump to almost 24 points the following season, also improving his 3-point shooting dramatically. Since then, he's become a reliable player for the Pelicans, striving mainly on the offensive end. Now the next step for Ingram and the Pelicans is growing with Zion and limiting injuries. As for the third pick, Jaylen Brown, after being selected by the Celtics, his career trajectory looked quite similar to that of Ingram. In his first couple years in Boston, he showed great signs of a two-way guard still with untapped potential. And by his 4th season with Boston, he averaged over 20 points and 6 rebounds, while shooting over 48% from the field and 38% from 3. Not to mention, the Boston Celtics seem to be a contending team every season, with the Celtics drafting Tatum in the 2017 draft, creating a great young duo. Although a lot of talk around the NBA began claiming the pair of Tatum and Brown would not work, due to them both being ball dominant, in the 2022 season, they would finally make it to the NBA Finals, after coming so close multiple times. Despite losing to the Warriors in 6, this gave hope that the pair could find postseason success together, as they continue to hunt for their first chip with the Celtics. Anyways, this season saw a slight decline in some statistics for Jaylen Brown. However, it's only natural, considering the new additions of Porzingis and Drew Holiday over the offseason. And now this Boston team seems like the only ones that can stop themselves from winning a championship in the next few years. As for the 4th pick of the 2016 NBA draft, Dragan Bender, coming out of the Israeli Premier League, he became the highest picked player in this draft that is currently out of the NBA. Selected by the Phoenix Suns, Bender quickly became probably the biggest bust of the draft. Seen as a stretch 4 with good defensive versatility, Bender proved to be basically none of this, meeting up to none of his prior expectations. His defensive impact was limited from the jump, with the athleticism and size of the NBA being too much for Bender to handle. And after 3 seasons with the Suns, they finally gave up on him, before short stints on the Bucks and Warriors, only to move back to Maccabi Tel Aviv in the 2020-2021 season. Seen as a future Eurostar, Bender added himself to a list of high European draft picks that proved to disappoint. Similarly to the first pick Ben Simmons, Kris Dunn has also embarked on a career of highs and lows. Drafted by the Timberwolves with the 5th overall pick, Kris Dunn was seen as a great two-way guard with good size who could also playmake. And although he proved to be great defensively early, his offensive was a different story. This saw the Timberwolves trade him after his rookie season, where he landed himself on the Chicago Bulls with a bigger role. With the Bulls, he also greatly increased his offensive output and shooting splits. And in his 2nd season in the league, he averaged 13.4 points, 6 assists, and 4.3 rebounds, shooting 43% from the field and 32% from 3, as well as 2 steals per game. Although still not a standout offensive talent, Dunn was a dog kind of guy that could do it all on the court, and any team would benefit from having on their team. That being said, after 2 more seasons with the Bulls and failing to improve areas of his game like his shooting, he was traded to the Hawks for the 2020-21 season. However, after this move, a series of ankle and knee injuries saw him play just 4 games with the Hawks. And lingering injuries continued to plague Dunn as he was moved to the Blazers and then Utah. Now on the Utah Jazz, Dunn has played most this season thus far, and is playing limited bench minutes, but is still making his presence felt in all areas. Despite the ups and downs, hopefully Dunn can maintain good health and become a great role player in time to come. As for the 6th pick of the 2016 NBA draft, Buddy Hield solidified himself as a top 3-point shooter in the NBA not long after entering the league. However, thus far, he's not proven to be much more than that. Selected by New Orleans, after a decent rookie season with the Pelicans, he was moved to the Kings, and it wouldn't take long for Buddy to show his ridiculous 3-point shooting, especially with catch-and-shoot threes. In his first 3 seasons with Sacramento, he shot over 43% from 3, and he peaked offensively in his 3rd season, where he averaged over 20 points. However, other than 3-point shooting, Buddy didn't excel in any other aspect. Anyways, seemingly not having the motivation to improve his overall ability, the years that followed saw a decline in overall offensive output, also seeing him soon move to Indiana in a Sabonis-Halliburton trade. Although Buddy continued to play his role, shooting good from 3, and also stayed healthy, his lack of versatility became more obvious as time went on. Now on the 76ers, Buddy has maintained a more limited role in Philly so far. Although still a good player, as a 31-year-old, we have likely seen the peak of Buddy Hield already. And for the 7th pick, Jamal Murray would be selected by the Denver Nuggets. So far in his career, despite some ups and downs, Murray's continuous ability to improve saw him win a championship in 2023. One of the best point guards in the current NBA, one half of the best duo in the league, and one of the most clutch players in the league. But looking back, it's safe to say multiple teams would regret not selecting him earlier. Anyways, thanks for watching Sportsphere. Subscribe if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
The Nuggets advance! They have won! And the defense of their championship title is alive and well!